Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to the Dice Tower live Q&A. Today is May 15th, 2017. When we are done having this Q&A, I will be probably winging away on my way home to take my wife out to eat for our 18th wedding anniversary. So, huzzah! It's a good day. It's a busy week though, a lot of busy things. We're preparing for like 3 conventions simultaneously. UK Gaming Expo, we're leaving for that 2 weeks from today. We're leaving for Origins 4 weeks from today, and we're leaving for Dice Tower Con 7 weeks from today. So that 7 weeks seems like a long time, but there's a lot of conventions in between. So we're trying to get all that stuff finished. This here, folks, is all about you guys asking questions. I put the FAQ in the link this time in the description of the video, so you can see questions that people ask all the time, so you can avoid those. But other than that, ask away. I'll try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. So let's get started. How am I enjoying the new digs? Well, we really are. If you haven't seen them, you can go back. Last week, Sam did a video of him showing off the whole area and what it looks like, although it's even looking a little different than that. I'm constantly adding little things and new things, trying to make this the most comfortable and coolest place around, if possible. Which Ticket to Ride would be the best way to upgrade Ticket to Ride Pennsylvania or Rails and Sails? To upgrade them? You mean component-wise? I don't know that there's any way to... I guess I don't understand that question. Is El Grande outdated or still worth getting? Still worth getting. Let me pop out the chat here so I can see it more easily. Well, that didn't work. Now I can't see anything. Oh, there it is. Where are we going for our anniversary? Well, the same place we've gone last year, I think, and the place we always like to go, and that's down to the Fish House, or down to some seafood place in Key Largo. Key Largo. We both love seafood a lot. I love it more than she does, but we are going to go down there, probably. Let's see. Am I reviewing Tiny Epic Quest anytime soon? No. A good way to see what games we even have. Like, for example, if you watch the boring unboxings, you can see the games that come in. And so we haven't even got Tiny Epic Quest yet. I don't think it's out that I know of. Which top 10s will show up next? We're going to be the top 10. Our top 10 things designers need to stop doing. And then after that, our top 6 exciting game experiences. Why 6? You'll see. Woo! The question flood has come in. What's your favorite meal in Atlanta over the weekend? It's our first meal. We went to some place called Ray's Seafood. We went there last year by accident, and it was just amazing. They have this barbecue shrimp on a grits cake. I don't like grits at all, but this was really good. And just really nice seafood. It's a nice, relaxing way to start off our very, very hectic convention schedule. It's always good to start off. That was my favorite meal. Why did you stop wearing your wedding ring? Did you have a bad experience? No. I just it got stuck on my hand because it was too thin. I got it when I was quite a bit thinner than I was. And then, you guys remember, I gained a lot of weight. And then I lost that weight, and I was finally able to get it off. So I got it off when I lost the weight, and I just haven't got it resized to put it back on yet. Also, I'm trying to let the finger heal because there's like an indentation there. It's almost gone now. So that's all. I'm still very happily married. I don't know what happened to Jimmy Fallon. Do you like Puerto Rico with 2 players? No. What's in the shed? You'll find out. Can you give a hint for tomorrow's guest in the podcast? Sure. There was a Board Game Geek thread where people were guessing as to who it might be. They're all wrong. What's a song that motivates or inspires you? Well, there's a lot of songs that motivate or inspire me. Mostly Christian songs will inspire me or motivate me. But there's a lot of other songs. I get pumped up by anything, right? At first I was afraid. What's my hat size? XL, which is hard to find actually sometimes. It's getting better now. Is anyone at Dice Tower going to the PAX Unplugged convention in November? Yes, at least me, Z, and Sam will be there, but there's a possibility more will be there. We'll see. World's Fair 1893 was the only game nominated for Origins that was not nominated for anything in the Dice Tower Awards. Do you think it was overlooked for the Dice Tower Awards? I don't think it was overlooked. It was certainly mentioned in the nominations. It just didn't make the final list. Remember, our final lists were also only 5 games. The Origins Award lists were a little bit longer than that. If you look at the Origins Best Game of the Year list, you'll see that they put that on, but they didn't put on Mechs vs. Minions. For me, Mechs vs. Minions is easily in the top 10 games of the year. But that's just me. Massive Darkness. Would love to hear some thoughts. Is it good? Better than Black Plague, maybe? I actually did not play it. I watched them play it. It seemed interesting, although I don't have any strong feelings on one way or the other than it looked interesting. Sam did get it, and Z got a chance to play it. And we're going to be doing a talk back this week where we'll talk about those games, and we'll give our opinions of each of them. What's a good replacement for Goa? I would say a good replacement for Goa would be the new Lorenzo El Magnifico. They're not the same thing, but that's what I would replace Goa with. Will Suzanne still contribute to the Dice Tower after getting her new job? I don't see why she would stop, but we'll have to wait and see if it makes it too busy. What was your favorite thing at CMON Expo? Well, I guess it won't spoil too much to say that it was Rising Sun, easily. What's the secret to making an asymmetric game where each faction presents fun, unique opportunities instead of just feeling scripted? I don't know. If I knew the secret, first of all, it wouldn't be a secret if I told people. I have no idea. You'd have to ask other designers. Where do you keep your game collection? This isn't an audio show, is it? What's your anticipation level 1 to 10 for Charterstone? An A? I mean, I'm excited, maybe a little. I don't know. I haven't read much about it because I try to keep my excitement level for games at a neutral spot so that when the game comes in, sometimes I can't help myself. I'm still like super excited about some game or some other, but I try not to get too excited or not excited about games so that when I come in, I can look at them with fresh eyes. Is the Sam House tour in the Dice Tower videos? Yes. Is building a tasting room and then doing a tour every round a common strategy in viticulture? I've done it. I don't know that that's a common strategy. Let's see. Have you played the Rune Wars miniature game? No, I have not. Still haven't gotten or heard anything for an Indigo fundraiser. I've been out of the country. Didn't the Indigo fundraiser say that stuff was going to be shipped in June? I apologize if that's not the case. We're working hard to make sure we get all of it. I'm just not... I guess I'll send out an update maybe this week. I just don't like getting a lot of updates that say, hey, nothing's going on. I'm working really hard all the time, constantly getting the different miniatures and things for it. I'm looking around the room here to see. I actually have a copy of the Little Dice Guy and Eric Summoner. I just got them, but we're still waiting on a few promos from the different companies. We have more than half of the promos in at this point, but we're waiting for everything else. We're also waiting for... No, we got all the Dice Towers in. I don't know if we got all the dice in yet, but we got a lot of stuff in. I know you said the last Time Story play video was corrupted. How did you guys like it compared to the other modules? Well, happily for you, even though the playthrough was corrupted, we definitely did a review where we very specifically answered that question. And the reason I'm not saying it now is because Sam and Z may have said things differently than me, so better just to check the video. Are you getting a copy of Yokohama Deluxe? Is mine not Deluxe? I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. This one seemed okay to me. Are we going to try to come back to MeepleCon even though Gamma's moving to Reno? Yes. That will still hopefully happen. It is our plans. Can you talk to us about Dice Masters? Just for a minute. I'm getting into it and I love it. No, Dice Masters is just fun. The thing I like about Dice Masters, and I was just thinking about this, I opened up the Star Wars Destiny, right? Star Wars Destiny is a fun game, but man, you get a pack of cards there, and I got, like, let's say Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's a rare one. Great. So I have Obi-Wan Kenobi with 1 die. I want to use Obi-Wan Kenobi with 2 dice. I have to go find another copy of the super rare Ultra Obi-Wan Kenobi. While with Dice Masters, I get the rare Spider-Man card, for example. There's all those common Spider-Man dice that work with that rare card. And that rare card is not that much better than regular Spider-Man. Even if I don't get rare Spider-Man, I can still use common Spider-Man and I get to use Spider-Man. But in Star Wars Destiny, you have, if you want to use Obi-Wan Kenobi, you have to get the rare card that utilizes him. Yeah, not a fan of that. Hey Tom, do you consider the environmental impact of board gaming? Do you know of companies that take this into account with their manufacturing? I'm sure companies take this into account. Me and Chief Sokotoa were this was in the 4th Indigo Wars. We we teamed up with Captain Planet. Now I know that you think Captain Planet's a cartoon, and that's true, but this Captain Planet was he's what the cartoon's based on him, but it's kind of not. It's hard to explain. Sometimes the alternate dimension things can mess things up, but anyway, there was an evil logger company trying to take over the world through various sundry means, and board games was one of their methodologies of doing this. You don't know about this because, again, it wasn't this world or this time. Confusing and all, but we stopped it. So, yes, I'm doing my part. Let's see. I have not put Flashpoint insert together yet. I'm really behind on a lot of things, folks. I'm really sorry just because of my mom passing away, and there's just so many games to play and review and moving and everything. I'm trying to get back in. You notice that I did a lot of reviews last week. I'll try to do, and then we went to CMON. So just trying to get as much stuff done as I possibly can. Just each day, I work really hard during the day, but I'm also trying hard to really not work at night so that I can spend more time with my family. Are you looking for more contributors? We're always interested in more contributors. If you are interested in that sort of thing, email me, of course. But wait a minute, that was an FAQ. You tricked me in answering a question from the FAQ. What mythology would you like to see in Eric Lang's next big miniature games in that line after Rising Sun? Okay, so he did Vikings, now he did Samurai. So the next one, well, I'm going to consider, I certainly consider the Godfather game to be in that line too. The gangsters. You'll see when you play it. Superheroes. Eric Lang needs to do a superhero game. If I've never read any Star Wars books before, where should I start? That's a good question. I think you can start very easily by reading the Thrawn trilogy. Heir to the Empire, I believe, is the first one in that. I don't remember what it's called exactly. But it's by Timothy Zahn. It's 3 books. They're called the Thrawn trilogy because he's the main bad guy in them. And they are, you could read those without having read anything else. After that, I would pick maybe a book or two. If you want a book that feels fun and has a very strong feeling of Star Wars, The Courtship of Princess Leia is a very good book. If you want to get like into the nitty-gritty fun details of background characters in the Star Wars things, then the Tales of series are good. There's the Tales of Bounty Hunters, which I really like. The Tales of Jabba's Palace, which is fun. Tales of the Cantina. I think those are the 3 ones. Those are also fun to read. They're a bunch of short stories, but some of them actually tie into the other short stories. It's fun and entertaining. Any advice for a long, happy marriage? Always give her or him more than you do for yourself. Have you ever designed your own game? I have. It's called Nothing Personal. Rising Sun, overhyped or not? I don't think it's overhyped. I think it deserves the hype that it's getting. Will you do a top 10 Eric Lang games? Actually, when I'm done with the Publishers Best of Publisher series, which is finishing up very soon, I will be jumping on the Best of Designers series, so that will take the rest of the year to go through those. You have an extra copy of Too Many Bones? I would consider that for sure. Top 10 questions we hate answering. What's the most squandered IP in gaming? The most squandered IP? Oh, I don't know. What would be a squandered IP like? I don't know. I mean, Mega Man is pretty bad. pretty squandered thing. Do I have a favorite mission number from X vs. Minions? Not really, although I kind of really like 2. Critical Mass is Dice Tower Essential this year. Any word on the next game in line? Actually, the next game in Dice Tower Essentials is probably Viral. I think they've switched the order of them. Viral is likely coming out at Gen Con, so that's going to be the next one. That one's really cool. No Exceed on the Level 99 Games video? I thought Exceed was okay, but I don't know why you would ever play Exceed when you have War of Indines and Devastation of Indines, BattleCon. It's almost the same game, but better, in my opinion. I know you don't review prototypes, but I don't review prototypes. Do you play them at conventions? Very, very rarely. It has to be for a very specific purpose. Although, there will be an exception, which I'll talk about soon. Shot and Totten better or with or without the special cards? I think it works fine with both, but I give the edge to with the cards. If Dice Tower Con was not right before the Jesus Freak cruise, would you have gone on a cruise to see DC talk? Probably not. I don't go on many cruises because they're expensive. So, I would love to go on cruises all the time, frankly, but they just cost too much money. I know nothing about the Rifts board game. Sorry. Who's going to win the NBA Finals? An overpaid team, I'm sure. Have you decided on a system for the RPG? I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm sure you'll be disappointed no matter what we pick. Let's see here. Is there any kind of Dice Tower merchandise that you would have loved to produce but was not feasible? Dice Tower coins, I think, would be super fun. I just don't think that's very feasible. I'd love to get some other... What did I look? I looked at several things. Dice Tower magnets I wanted to do, but magnets are a real pain in the neck to work with. But I have some ideas up my sleeve. The best strategy in Lorenzo? Not what I do. I taught Lorenzo to a new couple, and Matt Hosey, my friend, we were playing it at CMON this past week, so I taught him, we were playing it, and about halfway through I was like, oh man, I'm trying not to murder everybody because I know this game already, and what am I going to do here? And at the end of the game I came in a very distant third, and I was like, huh, Tom, that's what you get for thinking you were doing okay at a game. Whew, so many questions. And I am 10 minutes behind on questions. All right, let's go faster here. How many U.S. distributors should a company have for one game? I don't know what you mean by that, but I don't think they should tie themselves with one distributor. There's 5 major ones. I'd make sure all of them had my games. Were you sad that Rada wasn't at the Cool Mini or Not Expo or CMON Expo? I don't know that he would really have enjoyed it. Most of those games aren't his style. He doesn't like confrontation, and like 90% of their games are. Do you have a favorite escape room game? Probably the Exit games are my favorite at this point in time. What's my favorite Matt Gertz game? I don't know off the top of my head, but I want to say that it's the church building one, Hamburgum, I think. Let's see. What's my favorite Magic the Gathering tribe or creature type? Angels I like, maybe? I like angels a lot in that game. I like dragons too. Angels and dragons. They're a lot of fun. Oh, Minotaurs. Oh, Minotaurs. I really like the Minotaurs. I had a really fun Minotaur deck at one point. Favorite Stephen King book or film? Well, film is probably Shawshank Redemption. Book? I don't know what my favorite book is. I know my favorite short story of his is Langoliers. But I don't know about book. Let's see here. You excited about the trip to UK end of May? Oh, yes, I'm excited about that, but there's just so much. What's the square root of 144? Well, in this dimension here, I believe it's 12. The snake over the shoulder is disconcerting. Whose idea was that? It's mine, man. I saw this at a store. It was really cheap, too. So I got it. And this snake here is protecting his eggs, which happen to be the Ivory Dice Tower dice. And this was like full at one point. But anytime someone comes to visit, or I'm like, here, have some Dice Tower dice, and it's getting very low at this point. So he's getting more protective. Also, I broke him once. And Sam put it back together and warned me not to break it again, because it was really hard to glue it back together. So I'm very scared. It got broken in move number 1, but it survived move number 2. But that was mostly because it sat in the front of the car seat. In the car seat. Anyway. What did you think of the Vortex in Atlanta? Well, I heard it was this amazing hamburger place. We went there. I didn't expect to get carded going in, or needing to get carded to go in. The atmosphere was not my style. The burgers were fine. I don't think I would go back there. Do you find it harder to find a good game with a couple of thousand games you played through the years? Oh, no, I don't think so. I think it's harder to find a game that like blows my mind, but I'm constantly playing games. I'm like, this is amazingly fun. I played several great games at the CMON Expo just now that were really fun. Any game I can play with a couple on a 13-hour long flight? Just get a whole pile of games on an iPad or something like that. That's your best bet. I don't know that I would play one single game. Are you crazy? You're like 5 hours in, then someone hits the tray. It's like the Seinfeld episode, and that would not be good. Which Dice Towers are going to Essen this year? I haven't decided that yet. All I know is which stuff is going to UK Gaming Expo. You want to hear more about Gangrene the Green Gorilla? I apologize. Gangrene the Green Gorilla was not involved in that particular war, because he was off on a secret mission. But he's around occasionally. It's been a few days since I've last spoken to him, but we just had that whole dream catastrophe, really. But fortunately, we were able to fix it. As a fan of Z's review of Jump Drive was very favorable. As a fan of Race for the Galaxy, do you share his opinion? Yeah, I really liked it. And actually, this week I'm going to be doing a review of the Race for the Galaxy app. I haven't done an app review yet, but we found a program that records them, records directly off of your iPad that I like. So I'm going to try it and see how that works. Spoiler alert, I think the Race for the Galaxy app is incredible. It's really great. Back to Jump Drive, I like it, and I'll also be reviewing that in the next few weeks. Oh, that's the next question. What nice things did you do to bless your wife on Mother's Day? Well, I took her out to eat. Although I mentioned to my children that this was not necessarily my job, this was their job, but they did a good job. I sneaked a peek and read all the letters that they wrote my wife. They were very, very nice. The girls made her breakfast in bed, and I bought her a picture of her and all the kids. And I took one of the pictures of my iPhone and blew it up. And what else did we do? Well, Jimmy gave her, I think, her favorite present. My wife bought me a bell for Valentine's Day, I think, where you ring the bell. And it says, kiss me on the bell. You ring it, and then she comes and kisses me. Well, I'm very cautious, not constantly ringing the bell. Although when I'm in a bad mood, I'll ring the bell, because not much of the kiss can't help. But my son, he found out, he rang it to see what it did, and she came and kissed him. So on Mother's Day morning, he's 3, he just walked in, and he rang the bell, and then he turned around and went like this, and stood there until she came in, and she came in, and he was like this, standing there waiting for her, and she really, really liked that. Considering how evil and destructive he is most of the time. Okay, well, let's see. Could you make a review of the gaming racing chairs that we've recently purchased? We didn't purchase those. Those were sent to us to put on videos. We just haven't built the other studio yet. They're going to go in there. Pick the 3 nominees for the Spiel des Jahres. I can't really. I keep thinking about it, and I can't figure out what they're going to be. I've not played Path of Light yet. What things did you like about Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Well, I'll try not to spoil here, but Baby Groot I really like. In fact, I have a poster of Baby Groot in my room now. I like Baby Groot a lot. I thought Drax was hilarious. And I liked the story arc about the raccoon character. Those are probably my 3 favorite things. Let's see. Is there mythology that you would like to see a game based on? No, I think there's a lot of mythology-based games, so I'm pretty cool. Is there any childcare on a Dice Tower cruise? Well, the way that childcare works on a cruise, by the way, if you're watching this, sign up for the cruise. It's amazing. It's a fantastic time. The amount of money you spend on a cruise compared to any other vacation is so worth it. They wait on you hand and foot. You play games. You swim. You watch shows. You play games. You eat. You do this. You eat. It's amazing. Childcare. My kids on the cruise, they like to stay in a room. They like to go to the swimming pool, but they also you can go drop them off at a childcare thing that they have. All the other kids are there, and you can leave them there for hours at a time if you want to. And when you go pick them up, they'll probably be sad, and they'll probably say, "Can we please stay longer?" It's pretty well. Now, if they're very little kids, like babies, I think they have childcare you can pay for, but I think once they reach 4 or 5, you can just drop them off. My kids loved it. My teens just went all over the ship, did what they wanted to, basically. Did you ever play Final Fantasy VII on the PS1? No. Yes. Are you interested in the new remake? I don't know what you're talking about. They put Final Fantasy VII on the iPad. I played that all the way to completion because it's amazing. Actually, I technically haven't played to completion. I play it to where I can complete it, and then I store up so I can beat both the ruby weapon and the emerald weapon. And I stopped, and I still wasn't able to beat either of them, but I will be able to beat them at some point. Do you allow cursing at your table? No, I punch people right in the face violently when they curse. I don't prefer it, but I don't really have an issue with it, really, most of the time. At the game store, when someone starts cursing loudly, I usually ask them to calm down because they're making the atmosphere unfun for everybody else. But it's not that big of a deal here, really. We have a mix of experienced and not so experienced players in tonight's gaming group. What 5-player game should we break out? I don't know what you have. A couple weeks ago, you mentioned an upcoming Kickstarter you couldn't speak about then. Are you able to talk about it now? I don't remember what the thing was. I don't know what I know about that's coming out. I don't know about anything that I'm suddenly allowed to talk about, so probably not. Will there be more Nothing Personal expansions, or is it fairly complete now? I don't think there's any more Nothing Personal expansions. I have not been involved with Nothing Personal since the base game, really. I helped design the first set of expansions, and halfway through that process, GameSloot took over it. So I don't really have any input or knowledge about that at this point. Let's see here. On one episode of Board Game Breakfast, you mentioned there are companies that you think are cheaters and thieves. Without revealing the companies, can you tell us why you feel that way? Well, at least with one company, I'm first-hand knowledge and or experience is one way you can feel something. Others, when someone has a problem with somebody, it's he said, she said, or he said, or she said, whatever. When like 10 people have problems with the same company for very similar things, it turns into more of a, yeah, we see it. And sometimes these things are very well known on the internet. Sometimes they're not. But either way, it's an unfortunate thing all around. Let's see. Do you ever ask people to read the rules in advance of a game night you're hosting if it's a medium and heavy game that will require a lot of explaining? Nope. I never put that on someone else when I'm playing a game. I'm the rules teacher. It's my job to know the rules. Not always do a very good job at that, but I would never ask other people to read the rules ahead of time. How much better would Gloomhaven be for you if it was science fiction? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I'd love to see a sci-fi type Gloomhaven game. Thank you, by the way, for all the people who are saying nice things about me and my mom. If you want to be a game designer, then start playing a lot of games. How's Sam holding up? He seems to be doing okay today. Today's Sam's birthday, so send him a happy birthday message on Facebook. Favorite beer? I'm a teetotaler, so probably don't have one. Wow. I'm still 13 minutes behind. I'm not catching up. Let's see if I can go faster. What country would you like to visit and why? I like to visit pretty much every country that I haven't been to yet. But let's see. I really would like to go to Italy. I'd like to meet the Italian gamers. I really want to go to Singapore. And those are the top two. South Africa, Ghana. I like to go to any country over in Africa because I've never been to that continent before. Oh, I also like to go to Dubai. When publishers give you games to review, do you feel bad or guilty when you tear them apart with a bad review? Yeah, I feel a little bad. Unless the game is just awful, then I don't feel bad at all. But I don't feel great about tearing people apart. Top 10 games that should be in BGG's top 10? No, I don't know. Will a longer cruise ever be considered in the future? It might be considered, but we're pretty happy with the length of it as is now. Marvel or DC? Definitely Marvel. Any update on the release date of the Sheriff of Nottingham expansion? I want to say it's coming out at Gen Con, but I might be wrong there. Which cards need to be sleeved? Wedding cards? Probably not birthday cards. A nice Father's Day card. Definitely not Christmas cards. But maybe some Christmas cards. Bereavement cards. Those are the ones I would sleeve. Any expansions for Hit Z Road? I doubt it. Small goal of mine. Play all Carcassonne expansions and mini expansions in one game. Have you ever done it? No. However, I've played with at least 8 of them in one game. But that was just me and my wife, and we tried to figure out each time. We'd be like, all right, what are the rules for this one? It was fun, but we don't do it very often. Thanks for teaching Lorenzo to us. No problem. Thanks for whooping me in it. Do you think it's weird when Sam and Z do reviews in front of your games now instead of theirs? No, not really. I mean, it is what it is. We're just doing reviews. Can we expect a preview on Rising Sun? Yes, tomorrow we're going to be posting a playthrough of Rising Sun. It was me, Sam, Z, and Derek, and Eric Lang. We played through not the whole game, just through one third or 1/4 of the game. I think it was 1/3 of the game. So you get to see a good chunk of the game, and it was the middle third. So we skipped the first one, so we had some more stuff and things. It's really interesting. So I really liked it. You'll get to see that tomorrow. Do you think there can be a problem with reviewers being too good friends with the people whose product they review? Possibly, but I don't think. Do you think there's a risk of losing some credibility when reviewing said friend's game? Well, I think you can look at our track record and you'll see that my friends, let's say, of all the people in the gaming industry, one of my best friends is probably Stephen Bonagor. I probably know him better than anyone else, and I've definitely beat up on Stronghold games before. Just is what it is. What's my favorite monster movie? King Kong, maybe? I did like the new King Kong. Do you know where Finland is? I do. Are you sad that I didn't mention Finland on the list I'd like to go to? I'll add it. I would also like to go to Finland a lot. Have you played Power Grid, the card game? I have not played that one yet. Who's your favorite cowboy? My son. All right. Hang on, I had to ban someone briefly. Let's see here. Santorini or Yinch? That's a hard call. I don't know. Right now, I might say Santorini, but I also really like Yinch. I guess we'll find out when we get to my top 100. What's your view on what's being released at Origins this year? Well, I don't know, but that sounds like a really good side moment here. I know that Eric Martin put up an Origins preview list, but I haven't really looked at it. So let's do that together here. So we're just going to zoom through this. Let's see. I'm not actually sure where this geek list is, so we'll do a search for geek list with Origins in the title. There can't be that many of them, right? There it is. Origins Fair Preview. 162 items? All right. Are you ready? I'm going to go through and tell you what I think about the games. 754 already played it. Good. Sensei's Path. Oh, that's great. Only Thomas Spoils War didn't play that. Sam did. Likes it. Divinity Derby. Don't know much about it. Although I like the idea of it. Hunt for the Ring. I'm really excited about that one. Sword and Sorcery. Don't know. Wings of Glory. Who cares? Cursed Count. Witches of the Revolution. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. A pause. Cooperative. Sounds good. Beta Bots. Already played it. My review of it's coming out soon. Not a big fan, actually. The computer stopped scrolling here briefly. So I'm stuck on Refuge Race for Survival. That looks cool. I hope it's good. New York Slice, already played it. Like it. One Night Ultimate Alien. More One Night. Palace of Kings, Mad King Ugly, just there for demos, but I'm sure that would be fun. Ultimate Werewolf Hunting Party. It's just an expansion. Werewords. That's a great game. I like Insider a lot, and this is basically the same thing. Whistle Stop. That's a train game. I hope it's good, but I mean, it needs to differentiate itself from other train games. Gardens of Mars looks pretty, but that's only a demo. I already played that one. Lignum. I don't know much about that. Three Kingdoms Redux. It looks cool. I've heard really good things about it. Attack on Titan: The Last Stand. Very pumped about that one. Master Ryan, a board game. I really enjoy that one. Glad to see it coming to America. That was page 1 of 6. As we wait to get to the next page, we'll jump down here and answer some more questions. We're down to 20 minutes left in the Q&A, and my computer has just slowed down tremendously. Are those calc shelves behind you? Yes, they are. Are we going to try True Dungeon? I've already done True Dungeon before. I don't feel like I need to do it again. Has playing Gloomhaven made you appreciate solo gaming more? No, I just like playing Gloomhaven solo, that's all. Is Valeria Card Kingdoms the best game of its type? I don't know. Not sure. Do you have a booth at the upcoming UK Gaming Expo? Yes, we do. Huh. All right, back to the Origins list. Train Heist. Oh, that looks interesting. I'm kind of interested in that. Codenames Duet. I've already played it. I like it. Good. That's a question. I've heard that this one's interesting, but I'd like to see it being played first. Bemused. I have it, but I haven't played it yet. Fan Hunter Urban Warfare. Looks okay. Fast Food Fear. Baseball Highlights. More expansions. Can't Stop Express. Like the game needed an Express version. Island Hopper. Oh, that's... I don't know. Lisboa. Vatel is going to design that one. That might be good. We'll see. Railways of Nippon. I'm kind of not playing that game much anymore. Scarlet Pimpernel. I like the book. Skyways. I'm very excited about that, but that's only there for demo. The Network's Executives. That's an expansion, I guess. Okay, but they're just demoing that. Most of these are just demos. The Fox and the Forest from Foxtrot Games. I think that one's actually on its way to me, so... Professor Evil and the Citadel of Time. I like the name of that from Funforge. Sports Dice Baseball. That sounds bad. Kingsport Festival card game. I already reviewed that. Wasn't a big fan. Outlawed. I like that. Rocky Road a la mode. Really like that one. The expansion for Adventureland. That's fantastic. Dracum Term. That's a good game. I'll be reviewing that soon. All right, then with page 2. Back to the Q&A. Any tips on how to teach a game? Just start... Yes, I'm going to have to do a whole review on this at some point. A whole thing about how to teach a game. You know you're really big when the trolls start coming in. Yes. Is Jason going to be as involved as he was before the move? Well, Jason has been extremely busy lately working with... There's a lot of big sports things going on, so he has just been really tied up in that. I think he did some solo reviews, and he'll be doing some more soon. Have I ever been to Australia? No, that's also my country list. Sorry. I'm going to keep adding countries to it. I'd love to go to Australia, too. Is there any way to get any leftover promos from the 2016 Kickstarter campaign? Possibly. We don't have many of them left, but several of the leftovers will be going to UK Gaming Expo, Origins, and Gen Con. So if there's any left after that point, maybe. Or maybe even beforehand if I find out we have a ton of a specific thing. But not so sure. Is there any British food you haven't tried yet that you want to? I don't really know what the British foods are, so I'll say yes. But I don't know what it is. All right, let's go back to the Origins preview. Wait, page 3 still hasn't popped up. Oh, there it is. Rhino Hero Super Battle. Oh, definitely. Link. Oh, yes, for sure. Escape from 100 Million BC. Sam played it. I have not played it. King of the Creepies. Really weird name, but I'm looking forward to that. Sherlock Holmes, I'm not, because I can't stand the name of that game. Random Encounters, Ray Guns and Rocket Ships, that's just being demoed. Arena for the Gods, very, very interested in that one from Yellow. Summit, the board game. Sounds interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Alice-O-Matic. Dynamite Nurse. Oh, I'm in Japanime games. I'm just going to skip all these for now. The Terrifying Girl Disorder, whatever. Brutal Kingdom. Exit the Games. Of course, I've played all 3 of those so far. I really like them. Harry Hopper. Did I play that one yet? No, I didn't, but it looks fun. Jungle Party. Cruella, The Way of the Elephant. Lagoonies. Mago Mag. Ooh, Mago Mag. That's one everyone should get. Monster Trap. All right, halfway. Do we have a mod? Yeah, I'm the mod, sorry. What's your favorite holiday? Christmas. No, Easter. Sorry. Would you suggest getting Coliseum the new edition if we can't get the Tasty Minstrel edition? Yes. At any one time, do you have a list of goals for the Dice Tower? 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? No. I only ever have a 6-month plan or 1 year plan at the most. Because I never would have thought we'd be where we're at now. So I don't have any kind of aspirations for the future in that regard. A lot of people were asking me what games to get for your very little kids. Just go look at my kids' reviews. I do not know your child in particular, and so I cannot pick a game for them because every kid is different. My 3-year-old son cannot even come close to playing games that my 2-year-old daughter played with me. They're very different. So I cannot help you on a very specific thing. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? I want to be an astronaut, for sure. Then I want to be an architect for a while. You can see how well both those worked out. Come with us on the cruise? Yeah, you come with me on the cruise. Unless you're talking to other people there. I built a Lazy Susan table. What game would benefit the most from it? The game that benefits the most from a Lazy Susan table are deck building games where you want to look at all the cards and so you spin it on your turn. We used Quarriors was great on a Lazy Susan. Is your collection ordered in a certain way behind your shelf? No. Just how they fit on the shelf, that's all. How many expansions, base games do you need to have the full experience? Are you talking about Life? If it's Life, I think you should have 7 kids. A lot of the people are asking questions that I've already answered in this actual live Q&A. I was having cake for breakfast. How could you? All right, let's talk about this. I will never understand why we have allowed ourselves to be tied to cultural expectations as to what we eat for breakfast. This has boggled me ever since a child. I said, why are eggs, bacon, pancakes, waffles, cereal, toast, French toast, whatever, why are these acceptable breakfast foods? But meatloaf, mashed potatoes, spaghetti, lasagna, pizza, blah, 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 tacos, etc. These are not breakfast foods. And every time I tell this to people, they're like, no, I like to eat omelets and eggs for dinner and breakfast for dinner. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that we have given us this many things that we're allowed to eat for breakfast, but when it comes for lunch and supper, you can eat this many things. Why? That makes no sense. And there's no reason really for it other than that's what everyone always done. Well, I am not tied to these cultural restrictions. I will eat what I want for breakfast, which is normally a few pieces of fruit and cheese and some other healthy things. But sometimes, if I want to eat a piece of cake for breakfast, if I want to eat some lasagna for breakfast, if I want to eat some pizza for breakfast, it's the most important meal of the day. And I think you should be able to eat a full-blown meal. If I want meatloaf and mashed potatoes, I'm going to eat it. And I'm not going to be tied to what you want. And so you can look at me eating a piece of cake for breakfast. And you can say, how can he be eating a piece of cake for breakfast? And while you're looking at me, judging me, you know what I'm doing? I'm eating a piece of cake for breakfast. Delicious. I'm free. Join me. It's a revolution. All right, anyway, what do you prefer to do when you are playing with your friends? Learning a new game with them or mastering a game with them? Learning a new game. I love doing it. Are there any projects currently on Kickstarter that interest me? Oh, yeah, for sure. And we do a show every other week, which is coming up in 2 days. Crowd surfing, where I'll be talking about games that on Kickstarter that interest me. Will we see an outdoor set for the Dice Tower? Oh yeah, probably. You'll see stuff being done outside. Any plans to buy a Nintendo Switch? Well, anytime I even remotely consider getting a Nintendo Switch, there's two things that stop me. One, it's not available anywhere. Because, I mean, I'm like, ooh, a Nintendo Switch. I can play it with my kids at home. I can play it on the airplane when I travel. And they're coming out with the Legend of Zelda games there. That's great. Skyrim's coming out for it. Oh my, I'm so excited about this. This is fantastic. But I can't find it anywhere. It seems like it's constantly being sold out in stores. And the other reason is I can't afford it. Is there a deadline to purchase tickets for the cruise? No, but I'm going to be increasing the price for them soon because it's really important for us to know ahead of time who's coming on the cruise or not. I just watched a full Mega Game video. I'm curious what you think of the concept. Did you watch my Mega Game video? I did one. It's really fun. I think it looks great. Favorite video game over the past year? I'll go Civilization 6 because that's the only new one I've played. Thank you for all the people who said hi to me at CMON Expo. How many years have I been married? 18. Why did you stop doing the podcast? I didn't. It's still there, I promise. In fact, a new one is going up tomorrow. Maybe you heard Eric and Rado without me. My mother had died and so I was gone, but I did not stop doing the podcast. Thank you for the nice comments about my hats. Will other contributors show up in the Why I Love videos? Maybe. That's just something I started doing. I wanted to go back and, I'm talking about all these new games all the time, but I was like, hey, every once in a while, I need to talk about in more detail why I love the games that I do. And so I pick a specific game and I say exactly how I love it. And, with these newer games, sometimes I'm struggling on what to say on them. With these games that I love, it is so easy. I love talking about them. Did you find the Lorenzo Il Magnifico player pieces underwhelming? I guess. It's a Euro game. I didn't expect anything else. Who's taller, you or Rado? I think I'm taller than him, but maybe I'm not. Do you think if someone made third-party miniatures for King of Tokyo or King of New York, would there be enough demand for them? I don't know that that's even allowed, right? Because you'd have to find out the repercussions. But yeah, I think there'd be demand. I think that they could sell a ton of them if they made them themselves, honestly. Will Marky D ever lose his Donkey Kong Jr. world record? Sure. I don't know. Would you consider bringing back Showdown or a form of it? I like the debate of which game is better or a game that is good versus not good. Possibly. I just didn't have time to run that podcast anymore. Running a podcast is a lot of work. What's the general feeling of the gaming industry of late? Seems good. Are you finding people are buying more games or stick to a certain audience in their collection? Yes. Portugal's an awesome country to visit too. I'll add it to my list. I'm never going to make it to most of these countries. What you need to do if you want me to visit your country is make sure there's some game convention there that says, Tom, we'll fly you out. Then I'll be like, well, then maybe I'll come. And if I ever go to a new country, I will try to schedule extra days because I like to see the country itself. Tom says he's 13 minutes behind. No, now I am 17 minutes behind. Barbecue sauce, thin and vinegary or thick with molasses? I like them both, and it all depends what I'm eating them on, honestly. What does it take for you, Sam Rossi, to visit a foreign con, cover travel and expenses? Well, possibly, or maybe other things. I need to be emailed about that, and I'll give you the information. And it's not because we're trying to be greedy. We're definitely not. It's because all the conventions that we go to now already are extremely stressful. Like for this week and next week, I need to think about 3 weeks of material that I need to do in 2 weeks because we'll be gone for UK Gaming Expo. And then a week of, I come back, and then a week after that is Origins again. And then 2 weeks after that's Dice Tower Con. So we're constantly putting out content. At some point, I'm going to have to take a week off, honestly. Not a week off from working, but a week off. And the more conventions we do, the more that piles up. So for us to go to a convention, we have to look at the cost of going to that convention. Does that convention make more people watch the Dice Tower? Sure, they're fun to go to and great, but, and then how much of our time that we spend building things for the show and talking about the show and doing reviews is going to be used up going to there. What's my most loved hat? This is in the top 5 for sure. Probably my blue fedora. When can we expect the full review of First Martians? Well, we haven't even got it yet. Hope for your playthrough of Rising Sun is better than that on their own Kickstarter page. I couldn't tell you if it's better or not. Is Wasteland Express in the pipeline to be reviewed? I want to say it's over there on the shelves somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if we have it or not. I'm not seeing it, but it might be. Who knows? When do you plan on doing your Gen Con release previews? Oh, not for a while. That's still a while away. What's your favorite light, medium, semi-realistic pirate game? No undead mythical creatures. I don't know. Rum and Bones is my favorite game for pirates, but I'd have to go through and figure out which of them has mythical stuff or not. I did a top 10 pirate list, so you can go check that out. Any idea why Memoir 44 is virtually unobtainable in the UK? No. But probably just because it doesn't sell as well there. You have never beat up on Stronghold before, unless you mean you came down on them like a sack of feathers. Well, then you obviously have not watched all my Stronghold reviews, have you? For sure. Let's see here. I know that people are looking for conspiracies in this regard, and folks, there really isn't. Like, for example, people say that we're in Simon's pocket. Have you seen our review of Besieged? I really disliked that game. I really did. I just did a negative review of Unfair, a Simon game. I'm telling you, folks, that this, I mean, sure, when I review a game of someone who's a friend of mine or a publisher, I sit there and go, oh, man, I really hate saying this about this game. But I'm going to say it. We're going to say it. Because it just doesn't, it will hurt us more being nice to a game just because I like the person who made it than it will, you know, my relationship with them, if it is hurt because of what I said about their game, then that wasn't a very good relationship to begin with, right? All right, let's see here. Thank you for all the nice words that people are saying continuously here. Are we planning on reviewing the expansion for Alchemist? Jason Levine is going to be reviewing that one. Who's your favorite Muppet? Is Zombicide Black Plague different enough from Dead of Winter to justify getting them both? Oh, they're very different from each other. Wow. Very different. Let's see here. All right, well, we only have 5 minutes left, so I'm going to just jump down to the end questions, which means I'm skipping a lot of questions, but I don't want to miss those at the end. So I'm just getting, I'm going to go back and answer ones. Why is he answering questions from 15 minutes ago? Because I was 15 minutes behind. I'm so glad that I jumped down there. Let's see, can you give up any info on upcoming Dice Master stuff? No, anything I know about Dice Masters I've already produced. Anything I know that is coming soon from Dice Masters has been announced. And anything I know long-term from Dice Masters, I cannot talk about. So I don't know that much, though, really. Are you buying a box of Spirit of Rebellion when it comes out on the 25th? No, I have a box of it, actually, that I got. I opened it on video, but wait, wasn't it already shipped? No, but I'm not buying anymore. No. I wouldn't have bought it at all, I don't think. I'm not as keen on the game as other people to spend hundreds of dollars on one game. I really like some games that I'll spend that much money on, but not this one. Would you like to see an expansion for Gravwall? No, Gravwall was fine just based as it was. Would you ever stay at a fan's house? Would you be worried about an Annie Wilkes type of scenario? I stayed at fan's house before. But I'll tell you, when it comes down to that, it's kind of an interesting thing. Some people like it, and I do, right? But when you stay at someone's house, you feel kind of this need to entertain those people, right? They're letting you stay at their house. Like, when we went to my mom's funeral, there was a couple there who let us stay in their house. And we went there. We got up early in the morning. We went and stayed with my dad all day, did stuff with him, came back at night, went to bed, next day. And I felt guilty about that because I was just using their house as a place to sleep. I don't feel any guilt about doing that to a hotel. So there's that kind of thing, right? And you feel, oh, no, it's okay. But you still feel guilt about it when you go to someone's house and you barely interact with them. Or you do interact with them, and then you feel like you're on and they're like, hey, do you want to play a game? And you're like, well, yeah, sure, I'd love to play a game, but I really wanted to get some sleep, but, you know, I feel guilty here. So it's super fun, and if it works out, like if you're in an area for something else, no problem. But like at a convention, oh, I'd much rather be at a hotel, just because you go back and you can turn everything off. And like at a convention, you have to be on the whole day, and I'm an extrovert, and I love being on, but I do need to recharge at some point. So invite me to your house. I might come, maybe, if I'm in the area. But please don't be offended if I say no. It's not because I don't like people. Your best way to hang out with them is to say, hey, I'll take you out to eat. And then I'll be like, what? I don't have to pay for food? Is it cake for breakfast? I'm there. What? You're making me eat breakfast? That's eggs. Ah, cultural restrictions. Okay. Wabba labba dub dub. Let's see here. There'll be a small game con in my basement. Will you guys come in if we fly you out? Your reviews of the Dice Tower Essentials line of games are so biased. Well, no kidding. And I'll tell you why. Because I thought the game was amazing. I played it. I thought it was amazing. So I gave it to Arcane Wonders and said I would like this to be in my line of games. They said, okay. They publish it. I get it. If I gave it a bad review, they would be extremely upset. And for good reason. Because that means when I said the game was amazing and brought it to them, I was lying. So all my reviews of the Dice Tower Essentials are going to be positive because I don't lie. If I lied, it's a super endless circle. It doesn't make any sense. Yes, they're positive, but they're positive because I found them to begin with and thought they were great. There is no way on earth that I'm going to find a game that I think is not that good, give it to them, and then publish it, and then be like, this game is great, just to get people to buy it. What? Oh, that would be bad for the reputation. So. Oh, it's a joke. Hang on. I'll reverse everything I just said. Sorry. But I have had people say that before, so I apologize. I wonder if he even got what he was referencing. I hope I got it. I don't know what you're talking about. Favorite Heroescape hero, I did a whole top 10 on that one. I want to say it's Grug is my favorite, but it might have been someone else pretty close. So anyway, check at my place. There'd be cake for breakfast every morning. I don't want cake for breakfast every morning. I don't want cake for breakfast most mornings. I just want cake for breakfast if I want cake for breakfast. Alrighty. Well, that's it for this time, folks. I think. I apologize. There are so many of your questions I did not answer, and I'm sorry about that. I will try to answer them next time. All right. So, please watch our channel. This week we're going to have different playthroughs that we did. We're definitely going to be, the Rising Sun will be going up tomorrow, but there's, I think, like 8 or 9 different playthroughs that we did. I think 8 is probably the right number. I'm not sure. So we're going to be posting those, like 1 or 2 of them each day. So I hope that you enjoy watching those, and I will be reviewing several games, best of publishers, lots of other stuff coming up from us this week. But that is probably all I have time for this week. I'm talking about the Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. Did you get that reference? Oh, well, I mean, I don't normally use such language as that, but there was that one time war that we dealt with, and I can't even talk about it because it makes me sad, but sorry. Oh, Birdman. Anyway, let's see here. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching the Dice Tower Live Q&A.
So, how was your day? Oh, the dust. The dust gets into my fur. I'm talking about your board gaming day. Oh, I was playing board games, and we had a great time. And then this guy came by, and he was a real jerk, and he told us we were playing the game wrong.
Were you playing it wrong?
Well, I don't know. He just only wants to play games that are famous. Oh.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I heard you talking about me. How could you possibly know he was talking about you? Because I'm a rules lawyer.
What?
Excuse me, honey.
Oh, brother, it's an Origins Award. Overrated. I heard that.
I'm here to award you as the best lion, and you're the best Eurogame.
Do you even know anything about what you're talking about?
I'm an Origins Award from 1994, so I know nothing of what I speak.
What an idiot she is. I know it. I know it. Excuse me, you're talking about my wife. Yeah, well, you're an idiot, too. Hello, gentlemen. I believe we are having an internal dispute here, and we all need to get along. Is your throat getting all tight up from making all these voices?
Yes, it is, guys. Thank you.
All right, continue. Anyway, I was asking about this guy. Yeah, this jerk ruined my game. I'm right here. Yeah, I know. We're talking about you. And he told us we were playing the rules wrong. Were you playing the rules wrong? Yes, but we were enjoying the game. It doesn't matter if you were enjoying the game. If you're playing the rules wrong, you are ruining the experience and are not playing it the optimal way that the designer meant it to be played.
Well, he's kind of right.
First of all, I don't believe you know even what a game is. How dare you say that? You are never going to win an award now. Guys, we all need to get along here. Do you even know what we're talking about? No, I really don't. All right. Well, anyway, like I was saying,
Origins Awards are the best.
No, Dice Tower Awards are the best. You're such an idiot. All right, fine. Maybe they're not. But they're the most famous. What company made you? WizKids? You're under arrest for hurting a gorilla. You're not even a police officer. Take him to the shed.